Hello, and welcome to another Verbling class. Tonight's class is about conversation. We're going to talk about politics, in particular, the controversy surrounding Donald Trump. We'll get started shortly once students arrive in the class. Well, unless you can read lips, you couldn't hear what I was saying there, could you, Edson?
No, just it's on my website yet.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, but you actually asked for this class, so I figured you're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I am. Too much. So much.
So much, yes. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get started shortly with the video, but let's see who we have in the class right now. So we've got Edson. Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. Where are you from?
Hello, teacher. I'm from Brazil.
Wonderful. Hola. How are you?
I'm fine. And you?
Good, good. You haven't been to my conversation class before, have you?
Sorry, I can't understand. You can repeat more slowly?
Have you been to my conversation class before?
Okay, thank you.
Have you?
I think this is my first class with you.
Okay, good. Now, this is an advanced level class, so I don't talk slowly.
Okay.
All right, just to let you know, and a lot of students, we talk at this speed.
Okay, I will try understand
Okay.
everything
Well,
you talk.
if it's too fast, you might want to consider a more intermediate class because this class does go by pretty quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Hisham, hello.
Hello, hi.
How was your day?
Pretty good.
Good. What did you do today?
Um, I have a chat with lots of friends around the world today. Yeah, through bubbling also, but not through classes, but through just hangout. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Very good.
Oh, I got some. We shared about culture, different culture. I got to know culture in Poland as well as in Vietnam. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it is. I love learning about other cultures.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hisham. Roxia, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
How was your
Nice.
day?
It's as usual.
As usual. Well,
Yeah.
what do you think of the warm weather we're having?
Sorry, I wouldn't pay attention. What kind of weather?
Yes.
It's raining actually. It has been raining for 2 days starting yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't looked up the weather forecast. I'm not sure whether it will continue raining during the Christmas.
Well, it's very warm right now. We should be getting snow.
Yeah, it's warm. It's warmer than last year. We haven't got a snow here. I guess there will be snow in January.
Well, who knows, but you can guarantee we will get snow at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what I will have you do is watch a video here shortly. It's a few minutes long. Before we watch that video, though, I want to let you know that this class will actually continue into the next hour. So it's 2 hours if you want. If you want that extended, make sure you register for the class starting 1 hour after this one to get the benefit of the full hours. There are still a few seats left. Okay, well, it's about 5 minutes after, so I'm going to present you guys with a link to the video. Hello, Asma.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. We're just getting ready to watch the video. I pasted the link there. So if you could open up that link, and I want to make sure everybody can see the link. Let me know once you've got the link available. You can download the video, but if you just click on it, it'll actually start playing. I'd rather you guys actually just watch it instead of downloading. So let me know when you've got the video.
I got it already.
Good, Hisham?
Yeah, I'm good.
You can start watching, Hisham.
Okay.
Now this is done.
Okay, so start watching, Edson. So we got 2 students that are watching the video. Roxia, is your link not working? Is your link not working, Roxia?
I saw it now. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and start watching. Asma, is your link working? Asma, is your link working?
Yes, teacher, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Eduardo, is your link working?
Yes.
All right, good. Let's all watch, and we'll start our discussion after the video is over.
Faced with criticism,
much of it from his own party, Donald Trump isn't backing down. Instead, he's escalating the war of words. At this point, Donald Trump's campaign slogan might as well be, "There's no such thing as bad publicity."
When Mexico sends its people, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
After launching his presidential bid in controversial fashion, the real estate mogul made waves again this weekend, questioning the heroism of Senator John McCain, who spent 5.5 years as a prisoner of war in Vietnam.
He's a war hero because he was captured. I like people of any kind, okay? I hate to tell you.
That comment drew widespread condemnation, not just from veterans and Democrats, but from the Republican National Committee. Crowded field of Republican presidential contenders.
Don't care if he drops out. Stay in the race. Just stop being effective. You don't have to run for president and be the world's biggest jackass.
Republican Lindsey Graham dismissed Trump's campaign as a circus, echoing one news outlet which has relegated Trump to the entertainment section, calling the campaign a sideshow.
I watched this idiot Lindsey Graham on television today, and he calls me a jackass.
Today, at a speech in South Carolina, the real estate mogul fired back at his critics, singling out Graham.
What a story. What a story. Lindsey Graham. By the way, he's registered 0 in the poll. 0. He's on television all the time.
He even gave out Graham's cell phone number to the crowd.
You up?
High-level political discourse, this isn't. It is fodder for late-night TV.
I like people who don't get cancer. Let me tell you something. I like winners.
But despite the controversy, Trump is surging ahead of his Republican rivals in popularity. The Washington Post ABC News poll has him at 24% support, nearly double his closest competition. And while pundits predict an eventual downfall, Trump has other plans.
The American people said we're going to make it bigger, better, stronger than ever before. That's what I'm going to do. I know how to do it. Politicians don't know how to do it.
The election is still 16 months away, and many a contender has polled highly at this stage, only to fizzle later on. And consider that the same poll that showed Trump ahead also says that amongst the general public, 62% wouldn't even consider voting for him.
So the video is finished now for me. So it should have finished for everybody else because you started watching it before me.
For me too.
Shan, you just joined me, so here's a link to the video.
Okay, thank you.
You might want to watch that in the background.
Sure.
In the meantime, I'm going to give everybody else a minute to discuss what the video is about. So by the time we're finished, Shan, you should have finished watching the video. Okay, so let me get out my trusty timer here. Asma. I'm only going to give you a minute, so really you've only got about one key point that you can discuss. So what I'd like you to do, using the minute, is tell me what this news story was about. Asma, you've got 50 seconds left.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, the video is about the campaign of Donald Trump, and he's not a regular candidate. He's a specific candidate, and he makes a lot of debate because he said something that can make a lot of controversial. And in this video, we see how what he said about Mexican people. They are the main problem of America, or because they bring drugs and crimes and.
Thank you. Yeah, so he says something very, very insensitive about Mexicans, and if I was Mexican, I'd be offended. I'd be extremely offended by that. I'm not Mexican, and I think it's very distasteful. But that's my personal opinion. I should be careful about voicing my opinion too much. Edson, what's the story about? Something else?
He is being criticized by his campaign, and he said something about something like criticizing some guys, some Mexican guys. And he in the end of the video he says that he's gonna do what the other candidates are not doing, you know, some kind of a special thing that I don't know what's going on, but this is that he's criticizing and he tried to overcome it. His guys on the other side, they are trying to make him falling down, you know, in his campaign, thing like this.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you very much, Edson. Next, oh, David just joined us. So, hello, David. What I'm going to have you do is watch this video. By the time you've finished, everybody should have finished talking. So, if you can go ahead and watch that, please, David. All right, Eduardo, what was the story about? Can you tell us anything else that Asma and Edson have not told?
In my opinion, this is about a crazy man speaking, because Donald Trump speak bad things. He think that the Mexicans is the principal people made things wrong in the USA. It's not true. I think Americans and Latinos can be wrong things, and not only the Mexicans or Latin Americans people.
Thank you. I'd be careful. Saying he's crazy is a way of letting him off the hook. I don't think he's crazy at all. And in a way, that's what concerns me. If he was crazy, we could go, it's just a crazy man. But let's face it, they probably wouldn't let a crazy man run for the top office in the United States. It's interesting. He's being what he would, I guess, term as being very blunt. He's being very honest, or at least it appears that he's being very honest, but that honesty alienates a lot of people. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, crazy, no, I wouldn't call him crazy. That's my view.
It's not one opinion.
No, and I understand. I think it's a fair opinion, but keep in mind, when you call somebody crazy, if they're not, you're almost letting them off the hook. It's like saying, it's okay, he's crazy. It's almost like it's okay, right? Thank you for that. Hisham.
Okay. Yes.
What else can you tell us about this news story that hasn't been said so far?
Actually, I saw what they say. There's not much different from my point and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we see that he said about Mexican Mexican immigrant where they are contributing drugs, crime, and rape, some of that stuff. Yes, I'm not really sure because I'm not. I don't really know what is the statistic behind that. But even if it is true, you shouldn't do that like that. You shouldn't let out the statement like that. You have to be more sensitive because yes, it is freedom of speech, but you have to be sensitive in certain of case. So that is pretty much my opinion.
Okay, thank you very much. Now keep in mind what he said is, he said Mexico doesn't send their best. What they send is their rapists, their criminals, all this sort of stuff, right? It's like, so in a way, it's almost as though he's saying that everybody they send is of this class. Okay. And that's the part that people find very distasteful.
Okay.
Thank you. Hello, Shan. Have you finished watching the video?
Yeah, I've finished that.
Excellent. David, have you finished watching the video?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, guys. And I'm sure, David, you're well versed in this. Living in the U.S., you probably hear this far too often. And Shan, the same with you. So I'm not going to ask you guys to give me your thoughts. What I want to do is jump right into the role play. So while you guys were speaking, I thought of a couple of different ways we could role play. One was, one of us will be a talk radio host, and we'll have Donald Trump with us. The rest of you will play the role of somebody from the United States calling in, either making a comment or asking a question. Now, I'm a little concerned with that one there because I'm not sure how you guys would play Donald Trump. And I think it might be very awkward to put you in a position where you have to play him because of some of the things he said. The other option is, it's a call-in talk show. Again, we'll take turns being the radio host, and you guys will call in and tell me what you think about what he has said. Because Donald Trump has refused to come on our show. What do you guys think? You want to do the call-in with Donald or without? Go ahead and type it in the group chat. And we'll get a vote from each of you. So with Donald or without Donald? Or just say without Don or... Option 2 is without Donald. Okay. So one vote for with. 2 votes for without. 3 votes for without. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since there's 6 of you, I need just 1 more vote for without. All right, voting's done. We have, okay, so we'll do it without. That was, and I know you guys could do it well, but I know it'd be a very tough job playing that role, so that's why I wanted to give you guys the option. Whenever we deal with something that's very controversial, I want you guys to feel comfortable. All right, so.
Simon, before that, I would like to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
How far that we can comment about this thing, because I know this is quite controversial, so I do not want to pass the limit of it. Yeah,
well,
because,
you guys have been great all along. Just use your good judgment. Don't use profanity. Don't try not to say anything insensitive. So you know, he said some nasty things about people. Don't say nasty things about him. You guys have all attended university or high school, and you're familiar with how to write critically. I would use your critical voice.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And you know, use your good judgment. You know, I've done a lot of these classes where we do have controversial subject matter, and you guys have always done a very, very good job. I respect you guys, and I know you can handle this. But it's topical. This is going on, so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to touch the topic.
All right.
So we'll do this for about maybe 20 minutes, and then in the next round, what we can do is we could add in maybe somebody from his party, or maybe we could bring in one of the guys. We could bring in somebody, the Mexican ambassador. We could bring in somebody from the Republican Party, right? We can make it a little bit more different. We can actually keep Donald out of this and just have the conversation. Okay, so who would like to play the role of the news radio broadcaster? Okay, I'll do it the first round, and then we'll take turns, okay? All right. Now, it's probably best that for the callers, you should be calling in from either the United States, or you could be, you'd be calling in from the United States. You could be a Mexican background, Latina background, or you can represent any of the people he's talked about. It's up to you. All right, here we go. Welcome to NPR Radio. Tonight, our discussion is on Donald Trump and the controversy that he's caused during the 2015 primary campaign. We were unable to get Donald to comment or to appear on our show tonight, so I'm going to open up the lines and I'm going to invite you guys to tell us your thoughts. Is Donald, is he speaking the truth? Does he have a right to speak the truth the way he is? Does he have fair points? Or is he being insensitive and alienating and divisive? I'm going to go ahead and take some calls now. The lights are all lighting up. We got a ton of calls coming in. First caller, Asma. Hello, Asma. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling for America.
What state? Do you mind telling us what state you're calling from?
From the United States.
Yes, which state?
From California.
California. All right, thank you. And do you have a comment or question?
Yes, I have a comment. I don't know. I would like to know if what he said, this statement, many people heard a lot of comments and reviews about what he said, this controversial statement. But I would like to know, is this the characteristic of the leadership of America, supposedly that U.S. is one of the most powerful country in the world. So if people will vote for Donald Trump, how will deal with all these countries not inside the United States? This is my question.
That's a good point. From what I've heard, there's others in his party that are unhappy with him, so I don't think that he speaks for his party. But you know, I don't know. It's a fair comment. Thank you very much, Asma. Next caller. Hello, David. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon, the Ocean State. And do you have a question or comment?
I have a comment. I believe that Donald Trump is using what is called populism. And there is a sector of Americans who are afraid of many things what's going to happen in the future. And he is using these people to say whatever he wants to say. There's a sector of Americans, there's a big sector of Americans who are afraid. They fear what's going to happen with the country. They're afraid of immigration. They're afraid of Muslims. They're afraid of terrorism. They're afraid of new language in the country. So, and they are not happy with that. So he is taking advantage of that sentiment of these Americans to advertise his thoughts, which in fact they're not well founded at all. If you look at them with a microscope, they don't have any foundation at all.
Thank you very much. I think what the caller is stumbled upon is something we've talked about before on this show, and that's fear. When people are afraid, and fear is a normal reaction to change, to something new. So fear is a normal response. But I think what this politician is doing, he's capitalizing on this fear. Thank you very much, David. Guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys I'm going to set the timer to 1 minute because if we do go over it, I don't want you guys to go much over it. But if you don't, then that's fine. But we want to try to keep it to under a minute, and the shorter you can keep it, the quicker we can go around and give you guys more opportunity, okay? Hello, Edson. Where are you calling in from?
From Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, ah!
Yes. It's
Wonderful state.
one of
I've been there many times.
Yes, great state, United States. So I think that, of course, he's been criticizing, and everybody knows. Some people, they don't like what he has been making. But I think it's kind of fair that he's doing, because it's part of his campaign, and he should do. Because, for example, if he is elected, what's going on, that many part of things that he's gonna do for the United States, it may be a great thing, a great contribution, actually.
Okay.
For sure, he cannot be liked by some people, but he probably is gonna be liked by others, and this is a kind of in the middle point,
Okay, so that's very interesting. Obviously, he is liked by a lot of people. He's doing very, very well in the polls. In fact, he's been leading them since early spring. He's been leading them for a long time. What he is saying is resonating with a lot of people. But as you said, to be a good leader, do good leaders alienate? Do good leaders create division? He's created division within his party, division within society. Is this somebody that people want to see as the leader of the country, one of the most powerful countries on the planet? That's, international negotiations use a bit more diplomacy. All right, thank you very much, Edson. Eduardo, hello, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Brazil, Brasilia City, the capital of Brazil.
Yes, sir, and what's your comment?
Well, I think the Donald Trump is have success in with entrepreneur, but I think he will not be success in the politics, because he is radical.
People have said that before, that he's not going to continue to be successful, yet he still does well.
Yeah, I don't know. He is one radical person, and people in other countries, we can compare Donald Trump with Muslims, for example, because both are radical. And I think Donald Trump will not be good for the USA. USA is a great country. I think it's the best country to live. But Donald Trump, I think, will be bad things for this beautiful country.
And so that's what a lot of people are thinking. Sorry, guys, I just have to nip upstairs. My son's in bed, but I heard some screaming, and I think he's just playing, but I need to be safe just in case. All right, Hisham. Hello, Hisham. Where are you calling in from?
Hi, this is Sean. I'm just calling from Pennsylvania.
Right now I'm here.
Okay, and what is your comment about Donald Trump's controversy?
Okay, this is my opinion. I'm calling from Virginia, and we have listened to what he said just now. He said that every single person that Mexico sends to America is a bad person. That includes rapists, drugs, and crime, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
If he said so, It's just like there's a tons of people that which is Mexican American that contributing to United States in American football, baseball, basketball, boxing, football, golfing, actors, modeling, musician, authors.
Why is he doing it? Why is he doing it?
Oh, what is that?
Why is he criticizing these people then? Because obviously, what he's saying isn't true. Why is he saying what he's saying?
Yeah, that is a part of that is what I want to say. It's he just doesn't look thoroughly or at every single thing, because I just said just now there is a tons of people Mexican American that contributing to United States economy. Just for a very simple example, there is a factory.
I have to cut you off there.
Okay,
I love what you're saying, but I got to go to the next caller.
Sure. Thank
Hello,
you.
Alexia. What do you think about that? Obviously, what he's saying is not true in many cases. So why is he saying it?
Are you calling me?
Yes, Rexia.
Oh, I think he just wanted to create something that interests people, so that people would. But there are certainly people who are racist, so those people will go after him, even though it's not true. And he's also creating some new like hind spots, like new, I don't know, something that can catch other people's eyes.
That's interesting. I mean, it's been said before, he's just attracting racists, but he's got something like 43% of the primaries, and I can't believe, I don't believe that there are that many racists out there. I know. What do you think, Shan? What's going on here?
I think it's quite a publicity stunt, and he is doing it quite tactfully. And first of all, he just wanted to distinguish himself from a traditional politician. And
he's done that.
He done that, and by doing just criticizing some sentiments, which is not widely acceptable, but few parts of the society is just they believe that, and he started from there. And I don't know where this thing's going to be stay, because in case he just elected as a US president, think about it. This kind of president is US looking for, and how would be his approach and his strategy throughout the world.
It's very interesting. Thank you very much, Shan.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so that was the first round. I was the presenter, and most of the time I just let you guys talk. I think it's best to try to keep your points as short as possible. Try to keep it to maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's not going to reduce the amount of time you talk. You'll just get to speak more often, because we'll be able to go through everyone quicker. And it'll make it more interesting, too. So what I'm looking for now is somebody who can play the radio talk show host. Who would like to volunteer to play that role? Shan, thank you for volunteering.
No, not again.
Well, if nobody volunteers, I'll have to volunteer you. Now, look at it on the bright side, Shan. You get to speak more often, although it's shorter. Now, keep in mind, kind of do what I do. If somebody goes a little long, try to interrupt. Say, I appreciate what you're saying, but we have to move on to the next caller. And whatever that person was saying, try to transfer that to the next student, okay?
Sure.
And I can play the role of a student, too.
Okay.
Or a caller, sorry. Go ahead, Shan. You have the floor.
So we have a very current topic, and it's a very hot cake, like the way Donald Trump is continuing his publicity. And I have few callers in our studio. I'll ask first question to Azma. Azma, what do you think? Like how he's just doing his publicity? Is that the right way to do this?
Okay. When we talk about Donald Trump, we have to say that he is alienating everybody, because he talk about his candidates in the same party. He talks about countries. He talks about Hillary Clinton. He talks about all of people, you know, even though women, you know, as a woman also I have to say that he's not good when he talk about issue related to women in many TV shows, talk shows. And I think that in the general election, even though now he's the leading of the polls in his party, but I think in the general election we'll lose the vote of women. Yeah, so I think that I have to say, I have to mention or to point out how is alienating women in all, in general, you know.
Okay, okay, we got your point, and the way he commented in various other candidate about various other candidate and few women, it's a very bad image. But still, he's getting his popularity going up and up. So my next question is go to Chao. Hi, Chao.
Hi, good to be with you.
Hi, Chiu. Yeah. My question is, so how this popularity is going up and up? So what's the secret behind it?
Well, I think at the beginning it's celebrity effect. I mean, Donald Trump is an outsider, and the Republican Party now, this time, want to looking for an outsider. People vote for him, and people doesn't know him very much, and the Republican Party like the person who like to speak against the establishment. So and the voter not very serious. So the poll number is a little bit skewed. He's against this the support. I think it's very dangerous. At the very beginning, I don't think he will win the nominee of the Republican Party. But now I think the American people, especially the Republican people, are looking for a person who can charge their life and to tell them how to do things. So maybe he will win the nomination, but the general election, I don't think so.
The result could be very different.
Yeah, I hope people can figure out he's a fake conservative and to change their vote to other people. So like the one I support, Rand Paul.
Okay, we got your point. And my next question goes to David. David, where exactly do you think that his opponent is failing to convey their message, and he's getting his popularity day by day?
Critical thinking. We lack critical thinking not in all of the Americas, of course not, but there's a group of people who are more passionate, and they have this fear, and they're not thinking well. So if we look at each one of his statements, and we can by using just critical thinking or common sense, we know that is not true. However, we are not going to that path. We like scandals, we like to talk about it, but we're not going to the depth of the issue, which is let's look at the issue and say and to see if it's really possible to do what he's saying. To give one example, he said that he's going to deport 40 million undocumented people. It's impossible to do that. And nobody has done this in the past. And he mentioned the president government that he did. He didn't do that. The program that he had, I can't remember the president in the past, the American president who tried to do that, and it was in the term that that president used was very offensive. It was called the wetback program or system, something like that. It's so offensive what he did in that past. So he didn't do anything. It was just a proposal. It's impossible. We don't have the means. So if we focus on looking at what he says and really critical thinking, using critical thinking, we can say that it's not true. So I think if we do that, and people are doing it, it's just we like scandals, I guess.
It's a kind of scandal, and the way David expressed his thoughts. And my question is, we are behind just 16 months from our final elections. So what would be his opponent's tactics, how they can expose him. So this question goes to Hisham. Hello.
Yes.
Are you,
Yes,
you got my question?
yes, I got your question again just now. So you're saying how the opposition's comment about Donald Trump. So what I see from his statement is he is trying to make a small group into he's trying to generalize everything, just like Mexican. He's talking about Mexican, or maybe yes, maybe it's true. There is some Mexican involved in those crime, but he is actually trying to generalize every single Mexican. And it's include what he said about Muslim as well, where he's trying to ban them in the United States. And just to show the contradiction, the big contradiction is actually there is 34 largely Muslim nations.
ORC polls very much about Donald Trump.
Sorry, guys.
It's 34 largely Muslim nation is fighting against terrorism. So 34 largely Muslim nation, and he's just like saying that ISIS represent every single one. So that is my point, that he's trying to generalize the small group that represent crime and so on too largely, and he acts every single one of them. Yeah, that is my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. My next question goes to Raksiyap. Do you think the kind of comment he's just giving us, is there any valid reason, or we have found that once he made this comment, after a few weeks he just changed his positions? So what do you think? This kind of person, can we trust in future?
No, I don't think we can trust that person if he just changed his stand so quickly. And again, also, yeah, also I think his initial claim is not true, even though there's some truth in it, but it's not true anyway. It's not applying. So not every. We know there's lots of Mexican people in the United States who are wonderful and doing the job, contributing to the development of this country. So it's very discriminative.
Right. Yeah. Thank you guys for that round. Awesome. So he's definitely having an effect. And here's a poll here. I've been flashing up a few news stories. This was December the 23rd, so today. That's quite a lead. All right. Guys, it could change. And even if he does win, doesn't mean the Republicans will get in, right? But that's quite a lead. This is, okay, if you look at Christie, Paul, and Bush, the difference between those is insignificant, right? And even if you look at Carson all the way down, there's such a minor difference that either one of those could end up in second. But the difference between first and second, that is huge statistically. All right. Would anybody else, well, actually, we're down to 43 minutes. So, I'm going to handle the next round. But here's something you guys can do. I'm going to continue. I have another class right after this. We're going to continue the same conversation. So it gives you guys an idea to talk more about this and to talk critically. Because he said a lot of things. And because we have a lot of students, you don't have as much time. So by extending the class, it gives us more time to talk. All right. So I'm going to go for shorter answers, because we don't have too much time. We got about 17 minutes, so I'm going to keep things short so you guys get more time to talk. So he said a lot of things, but let's look at these poll numbers here. If he's saying ridiculous things, why is he on top? Asma, what's going on here? Why does he score so high?
Yes, the score is very high, so we cannot say anything about his leading. But yes, I'm surprised, because when I watch Donald Trump, I just want to laugh. Mm-hmm. So
are people finding him more of a comedian? Sorry, because that's an interesting point. I mean, he does say things that kind of make people laugh. Like he's not that serious. He just doesn't get it. Next caller, Chow. Sorry, is it Chow?
Yeah, Chow. Yeah.
Chow. So is he just funny, or are people kind of looking at him as just a silly guy? He doesn't really mean it.
Well, I think maybe that just reflects the failure of the democracy or the current system, flawed system, and people just, the voter is now rational. There's a book called The Myth of the Rational Voter. So the voters who vote for Trump just like him and doesn't consider his policy will lead the disaster, because the disaster will be averaged out and people won't suffer from that. So people vote for him because just a claim that, I like Donald Trump, I'm different. So that is the irrational voter. So people will vote for him, and that is very sad.
It's very similar to something we know as crowd thinking, that people think very differently when they're alone versus in a crowd.
Yeah, exactly. And people will consider their opinion among their group. So
thank you, Chad. David, next caller. So is this all down to crowd thinking, that it's really, at the end people are going to wake up and realize, what, maybe he isn't the best guy, and then turn to Cruz?
It's called populism. I just posted in the chat box. It's called populism. So you guys need to go to there and find out what it is. But in a very simple way, is that he's appealing to fears and hopes of people, and everybody does that in Latin America. That's in Europe. They do in Europe. It's populism. It's just, that's what it is. And because there are a sector of Americans who do feel that the changes, uncomfortable with the changes. That's what it is. Populism. It has been done in the past. But I believe it hasn't been successful in the past in this country.
I'm going to bring something up here. So, what Mr. Trump said, he said, I want to stop. I want to prevent Muslims from coming into America. If they're American citizens, I'm not looking at changing that. They're American citizens. They have free flow. But if you're not an American citizen and you're a Muslim, you're not allowed into the country. Now, that's very difficult to prove, because, well, how would you know if somebody's Muslim?
But you cannot do that. It's against the Constitution. You cannot do that.
Let's go back to the 1940s. America and Canada were so afraid of the Japanese that they rounded them up and put them in prisons. Now, we didn't do this with Germans, but somehow we did it with Japanese, where there's so much fear. So when you think about what Mr. Trump is saying here, Hisham, is it that much different than what happened in the 40s?
I do not have any much idea about late 40s, but what can I say about the one that he is very in a very high ranking is, he know how to play with this a very sensitive issue. If you can see, he's playing with the ISIS things, and as well as Mexican borders, because we know that Mexican borders as well as ISIS that just struck France is a very hot topic, and he's trying to play with that issue, and he's trying to come with a suggestion, I would say. And if he's saying, just now you're saying about he's trying to ban non-American Muslim to enter United States. Just to give a very simple example, I myself is a Muslim and I'm studying in United States. I contribute to United States with 14,000 over one semester.
Yeah, so as a student, and this is one thing, foreign students, most Americans don't realize it, but sorry, let me continue. I need to kind of be mindful of time here. But foreign students do not get scholarships in most cases. They actually pay more than an American student would pay. So he's contributing. And let's look at something else too. We see a lot of Syrians freeing Syria. If they were members of ISIS, they wouldn't be fleeing. But I want to when I go to Roxy here, Roxy, I want to ask you the same question. What Donald Trump is saying about Muslims, is it similar to what was done back by Canada and America in the 1940s? Is this similar type of thinking?
Sorry, what's done in the 40s in Canada?
Oh, you guys really, this is a piece of history you guys should really research. Canada and the United States rounded up all Japanese and put them in prisons for a certain period of time, the duration of the war. I'm not exactly sure how long it was, because they were afraid that the Japanese would revolt up against Americans and Canadians.
Oh, you mean during the World War II?
Yes. So what Donald is saying about the Muslims is similar to that same fear that was in World War II.
So, but I don't think so. There's no war going on right now between.
Isn't there? There's a war in Syria. There's war in Iraq. There's war in many countries.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no war between Mexico and United States.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go on to the next call because this is not about Mexicans, unless of course there are Mexicans of the Islamic faith. Shan, same question to you.
Oh, you are talking about Muslim. Okay, I know.
Yeah. So, Shan, the same question goes to you. What Donald Trump is trying to say about Muslims and create that fear, is it the same fear that existed in World War II towards the Japanese?
Yeah, absolutely. Fear is fear. We can add any perspective on this, and he's just tried to encash those fears, and some sort of hidden outrage is there. Those sensible topics, he just wanted to encash all those things, and it's quite stunning that we cannot just cannot deny that he don't has any tactics and all those stuff. I think he's doing it very tactfully, and I'm afraid if just looking at his popularity, other politicians could start making those kind of comments, and it will be a bad environment in U.S. politics.
Thank you very much. And by the way, David was correcting me, but I guess I should correct David as well. So when we talk about what happened to the Japanese, they weren't called prisons, they weren't called concentration camps, they were called internment camps, but essentially they were prisons.
Concentration camps, not prisons.
No, concentration camps were what we call the ones in Germany. That's where the Jews and other less desirables were not only put to work, but were also killed and tortured. So there is a difference.
Right. There was no prison. They were sent to these concentration camps in the United States.
No, they were called internment camps.
Well, internment camps, but the concentration camps. There were no prisons. There was not like a building where they have to do it. It was like just an area, open area, like they were the ones in Germany.
What I'm saying, though, is, again, this is about terminology that's being used.
Yeah, about semantic, but the prison in the United States is, what a prison is. It's a different format.
It's pretty much the same. They were behind barbed wire. They couldn't leave. They were given meals 3 times a day. It pretty much was structured much like a prison, and if you talk to anybody from that time, it's exactly how they felt.
No, they use the word concentration camps. No, they don't use the word prison.
Well, they didn't use that term in Canada then. We call them internment camps here. Okay, so we've got about 7 minutes left. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys 1 minute to kind of round up your thoughts on this. And are you thinking any differently now than at the beginning of class? And if so, what's the difference? So I'm going to start with Asma. Asma, your final thoughts before we go into the next class.
Okay. I think that maybe in the first round I didn't complete my thought that yes, when I watch him, I laugh, but actually I find him very smart candidate, and he will, and I expect that he will maintain his leading actually in his party, but at the same time I'm afraid of winning the general election and being the president of America, even though that I am sure that he will change his mind, because now he's looking for ways to attract people to vote for him. But I think that, for example, foreign relations, other issue, he will not be the same person that we know him in his campaign.
Yeah, he's certainly got momentum. Thank you very much. Chow, your final thoughts.
Well, yeah, at the beginning, I just think Donald Trump is a joke, and people will recognize him. He's not. He shouldn't be the choice for American. I mean, he against Constitution. and Bill of Rights. But now I feel like people seems doesn't care about these things, just like his personality, and voted him. So I'm kind of very concerned at this stage. I'm hoping that people will change their mind, but I don't know. I just will see what gonna happen.
Well, Chow, I mean, if you're in the U.S. and you don't like his politics, then one thing you can do is align yourself with a different party and become active. I think what Asma was saying is very important. He is smart. This guy isn't stupid. He's a billionaire, and he made it himself. He didn't get there because he was crazy and because he was stupid. This is calculated somehow. I don't know what he was thinking, but if you label somebody as crazy or as stupid, you take them for granted and allow them to do well, and maybe that's what's happening here. People are taking him for granted, thinking he's a joke, he's not going to make it, and the numbers keep ticking up. All right, next, David, your final thoughts.
I'm not that worried about Donald Trump. I think if we look at the statistics, it's only a certain group of people, white people, mostly religious, people who are angry about what's going on in the situation. Lucky for us, it's not the majority. He might win. Okay, we will make big mistakes, and we will learn. I'm not so much worried about that, but I doubt it that he's going to win because we need to read more. Critical thinking is we lack in so much in this campaign. But again, those statistics that you're showing is not the whole United States. It's a sector, mostly white, mostly religious, and people who are, they have this idea that the United States is going for war, so there's something that have to be done. And this guy is using populism, and that's why he's famous. And he's also so irreverent. But and I don't think he's that smart. I don't think he's that smart.
Now, I've only got 4 minutes left now. Hisham, Ruxia, and Shan, are you going to be in my next class?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I will be in the next class.
Okay. So what I would like to do, because I've got 3 minutes, and I want to quickly check on my son and then get ready for class. What if I just let you have 3 minutes at the beginning of class, guys?
No problem.
Sure.
All right, thank you. So we're going to continue the discussion, but I'm going to change it up a little bit because I want it to, and maybe what we do is we talk about fear and other things, and then that way I can allow you guys to have a bit of a debate, and we can have a bit more fun with it because it is a very serious topic, but I want us to take a slightly different angle with it, and maybe not so focus on Donald Trump, but focus on elections and the outcomes and how people vote and that kind of thing.
Okay.
All right, guys, so there's still a few spots available if you haven't registered for my next class, but I'll be back here in 2 minutes, guys. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Sure.
Bye.